Your wife is a tank, man. Raising those chickens, dude. Ooh, we watched Hudson the other morning, man. Dude, he's how many months old is he?
4 months.
Oh man, you've got your hands full, brother. He is a hoss.
Dude, Hudson, I said Hudson could probably stop a bullet at this point. he's just a giant ball of mass.
Welcome to $2 Steak, a pro wrestling podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Varnum. Joining me today, as always, Big Mike.
Woo!
Tolbert.
It's good to be back.
And straight out of the 704, Cookie, Seymour Jugs.
Woo. Woo! I'm also going with the woo because I got Ric Flair this week. So.
I did the woo.
Well, I'm going with woo because I had Ric Flair.
I always do the woo.
You did a whoop whoop though. Who did a whoop whoop?
That was me.
So
because he still has the dreads. You know, look at him.
Somebody stop that scheduled scan on my computer.
Yeah, Cook, good to see you, man. It's been a couple weeks since I've even seen you or talked to you.
I know, man. I'm gonna have to come back soon.
Oh, no. You're good. You're good.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
We're good without you. Last time
we're in tight social circles.
You know, last time we saw him, we all thought that we had COVID because of him. So it was.
Hey, wait, and didn't tell the people what happened the day after you found out what.
Well, that it was negative, but still, this was a point when testing was so slow, and it was like literally.
It's still slow.
Well, it is still slow, but at that point, it was like a really long period of time for him to get his results back. And I'm,
so
every night having to take an extra Xanax just to top it off at the night so I can go to bed. So, boys, how was your week? Cookie, what have you done in Charlotte? How many hole-in-ones? Did you get that in disc golf? Have you disc golfed this week?
It's called an ace, Aaron, okay? And I'm getting tired of you shooting on disc golf, all right? I know that there are people out there that love disc golf. It's not just me, all right?
Okay. Yeah. So tell...
You know what? Whatever. I didn't even go disc golf this week, all right? I didn't even do it.
Why, man? What was wrong with it?
Well, I went to my local thrift store, went book shopping.
That's
I figured out how to read. Yeah, I figured out how to read recently.
Okay.
Yeah, man. So I picked up some gifts for you guys, and I can't wait to give them to you.
So I saw some of the books. Well, one of the books I saw was A Boyhood Dream, the Shawn Michaels story. Now, have you started reading that at all? Are you going to read it before you get it to us, or are you going to do a Cookie's book review in the next couple weeks?
Oh, God. No, I'm not going to read that story. I'm not going to read that shit. I'll let you read it, Aaron.
Am I the only person that reads?
No,
Yeah.
But I don't want to read about his heartbreak and his triumph. That's why I asked who wants to read this book, because I knew one of you guys would want to read it.
Dude, any kind of wrestling memorabilia, I will gladly accept for my house. You know, I don't have a lot of space, but I did talk to Howard Varnum today, and he's going to build me some new shelving for inside of here to put up some stuff.
Little corner shelf right there.
So Howard,
it's going to be shelving and a bouldering wall.
Yeah, because it's going to be made out of it's going to be 500 pounds of just pure like
solid oak,
child crushing material. So like when Elliot comes over, it's just going to fall on him.
We'll have to get you some more memorabilia then, man. Fill it out.
We've got enough right now,
The corner
man.
is growing. I'm very proud. We got some really cool stuff over there.
Barbara Varnum came inside my house today and was just very disappointed in the corner. When do you go grow up?
Oh no.
I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, look at the action figures.
Never, Mom. Never.
Well, I mean, like...
No, that's where you go, Mom, I am an adult. They're still in their package.
I got bills, Mom. I got bills.
Except for the $50 Jushin Thunder Liger, which I took out of the package for some reason.
Because you couldn't resist. You had to.
But Alex...
Well, at least you saved the Terry Funk.
Terry Funk would never leave that
intact,
package.
Yes.
Yeah, so. Anyways, I was on vacation last week. We kind of recorded something last week in the car. Yeah. It was awful. It was absolutely awful.
I completely missed out.
It did feel a little flat, so Aaron dumped it.
So I completely dumped it and just went ahead and did the Zane interview that Cookie and I were able to do about 3 months ago. It was before the pandemic started, actually. So Shit, it could have been January when did we record that, Cookie?
I think it was end of December, early January.
Yeah, it was well before Zane found out that he does not like you.
Yeah, well, he's always not liked me, but now he not likes me. Wait, that's a double negative. That means he likes me. So, anyways, did you guys enjoy the episode? I know you guys were not in person here when we recorded that because it was just me and Cookie at the time. Did you guys get to listen? I don't think Tolbert listened to it. Mike, what did you?
I've been busy, man.
You didn't listen to your own fucking
I've been
show?
fucking busy, dude. I've been working 7 days a week, man, dealing with these fucking idiots that just want to grab a beer, which is cool. I'm happy to have them sometimes, but yeah, I've been on the grind. Haven't had time to
Brother, this is your art. This is what you put together every week, and you didn't listen to it. Just because your fucking stupid voice wasn't on it?
I listened to every other episode this week. I happened to just not been busy. It's been crazy.
Zane, I hope you're hearing this, that he intentionally skipped out on your episode.
You know what? I'm going to wake up. I'm going to make some coffee. I'm going to put it on tomorrow. I'm going to listen to it. I'm going to roll up a joint. I'm going to do some chores. And
please
listen
do
to the sweet sounds of the Dawson Brothers.
Yes, Cookie.
I think what Tolbert meant to say is he's going to wake up, he's going to make some coffee, he's going to roll a joint, he's going to forget about the podcast, and then he's going to go about his day.
And then he's going to be like, well, there was something I was supposed to do today.
No, I got a big day tomorrow. I'm going to listen to the Dawson Brothers to get me pepped up to go lawnmower shopping tomorrow for the rugby club.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
okay.
Give me a little some tactics to lay on some cells in maybe.
Yeah, you got to find you a mark.
Yeah.
Zane went into great detail around the history of marks and along with the storytelling involved in a wrestling match. I really personally enjoyed it. Now, my stupid voice was not on it, so I kind of missed out there. But my daddy...
We did talk about you, though.
A little bit,
He put you over at the end saying how much he loved you.
He put me over. He also kind of shot on me.
Yeah, well...
That's what he does. That's what they do. That's what both of them do.
He said that you didn't know what you were talking about at first, and
but then he would go back and watch and be like, yeah, no, this was shit. And so I appreciated that. My dad called me. He said he really appreciated it, to kind of getting that inside baseball kind of knowledge of, what's going on and how they go about kind of formulating, and especially when they call it in the ring. It's kind of interesting.
I really, I prefer a match that was called in the ring, something that makes it a little bit more. I don't like things to be perfect. I've never been a person if you listen to this podcast, you know that it's never perfect.
We like a natural progression.
Right. Like if things are gritty, if things are real, it makes me more emotionally invested into it.
Chef's kiss. So
when a match is called in the ring, I think that gives it more of an emotional appeal. You're not dictating what the audience needs to do. The audience is dictating what you need to do in that ring, and I think it makes for a much better professional wrestling match.
Agreed.
Right, Cookie?
Absolutely, I 100% agree.
All right, so
just us. All right.
Oh, sorry, Cookie. What else were you gonna say?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, does anyone else agree with that?
You can definitely. Well, it's harder now with like the arena show, like the no crowd arena shows, to kind of see the flow or see what could or should happen.
Yeah.
But you can definitely tell a match in front of a crowd when it's called in the ring and they're kind of vibing off of what's going on versus just throwing out spots and like doing their own thing. I mean, it's every revival match that was on WWE in the last year that, they start wrestling and nobody really cared or knew because there was no story and there was no meaning behind it. But after the first commercial break, everybody's just like hooting and hollering and going wild about it.
Right. And then there's a famous match between the Wild-Eyed Southern Boys and the Midnight Express. And Cornette's talked about it. How in Baltimore, they were just shitting. They didn't know who these people were, the Wild-Eyed Southern Boys, and then nobody cared. By the end of it, people were hanging out the rafters and, screaming their hearts out because these guys knew how to tell a story to these audience members, and the audience members bought into it. I think, and Cookie, you were talking about it like this week on AEW. Like there was a little bit of disconnect between you and AEW this week for a couple of those matches, correct?
Absolutely. I'm trying to remember what matches specifically they were, but
I think it was it Omega and Hangman against Luchasaurus?
Yes. It was. That's exactly what it was. It felt forced. Like they were just throwing out spots left and right, and they weren't like, I don't know how to describe it, but it just didn't flow like a typical tag team match would, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But,
and that could be, you know, because the lack of crowd and all that stuff, that maybe you're forced to kind of go over your spots a little bit more beforehand. Anyways, what have you done this week, Tolbert? What are you
Me?
Yeah, what have you done this week?
I've
Nothing.
Worked.
You worked? Yeah, you're fucking boring. Mike, what have you done this week?
Oh, I'm in the same boat, Chris.
Mike, you're fucking boring. What did I do this week? I worked. It's been a boring fucking week.
Dude, yeah.
Getting back to the grind.
I've been on the grind. You've been on the grind.
Hospital
dude.
was a madhouse yesterday.
Yeah.
I was just head down, just bowling through it, man. Just trying to get through.
Tolbert came in today claiming that herd immunity was a thing, and that there was no virus.
No, there definitely is. But I'm probably immune to it by now.
Yeah, it's
definitely am immune to it now. I probably had it like 3 times now.
But at this point, man, like it's getting old because people aren't following the rules.
Dude, and I witnessed this last night. It just I work in a place that we just happen to be able to serve on premise, and after a certain time of night, people just don't give a shit, and it's crazy. It's like a bunch of toddlers running around.
Do you think that maybe that's why the governor put a time stamp?
Yeah, it's
because
cool. I'm in favor of that. I get out of work a little bit earlier.
But then again, people are like, well, the virus ain't going. What, does the virus leave after 10 o'clock? No, motherfucker. People get drunk and they stop doing everything.
It's ridiculous. It's really funny and scary. But that's what I've been dealing with.
Cookie.
I was just gonna say, next week, boys, I'm starting class, and I have to go in person to class.
Cookie, you remember when I invited you for SummerSlam next weekend? I have totally just nixed that right now. You're staying home. Finish your story, Cookie.
I was just saying, like that. I'm worried about going to class. Like I shouldn't have to be, but like I don't know why.
Cookie, trust me, don't worry, man. Just do your thing, brother. We're strong, beefy men. I've made it this far. You definitely can.
I don't want to go.
It's wild. One of our close friends of the podcast actually came down with it this week and has been sick because of it and having to self-quarantine. So it's definitely
still out there.
It's definitely still out there. And it's an eye-opening thing to see a very close friend go through something like this and having to talk to this person about it. Notice I did not give any privacy identifiers right there. I am proud of myself.
You did great, man.
That's a professional right
That's
there.
because I took my Cookie, did you ever have to take a city exam through UNCW to get your researcher stuff?
Not that I. Yes, I did. Actually, yes, I did. I did because I had. I definitely had.
Yeah.
When I did DIS, yes, I did have to do it.
So you have to get like a city certification to make sure that you are correct with all of your privacy and everything, and that's what I had to go through that shit today.
Yeah, I live my life like that.
Yeah, well, fuck you.
That's HIPAA
I got
for Mike.
stories for days, and I can't tell anybody who they are.
Oh, dude, I repeat all the stories I hear. Like, guess what I heard the other day?
There's no HIPAA for bartenders.
No, it's just like, don't piss me off.
Mike actually told us that somebody came in and drank a bottle of gin and ate hot dogs.
In the same day, I treated a man who came into the hospital because he had drank an entire bottle of gin and a pack of hot dogs, and he had stomach problems. And on the same day, I treated a guy who killed Nazis because he was a fucking fighter pilot in World War II. I love my job for that sort of stuff.
Man, a little contrast for you there.
So it was a whole bottle of gin?
At least.
Did he cook the hot dogs?
I didn't ask.
Were they Jesse James hot dogs? Were they the red ones?
Honestly, they
were the red ones?
I mean, I've mentioned it before. I don't think I've said it on this podcast. One night when I was between jobs in Myrtle Beach, and I had about $15 in my pocket and a free ticket to go see the single A baseball team in Myrtle Beach, the Myrtle Beach Pelicans. And I went to the stadium because it was $1 hot dog night, and they could get me a meal in, and like maybe a beer or two, and like
it's just like you finished an indie match.
I know. I
Go and get yourself a hot dog.
I'm like, fuck the baseball game. I'm gonna eat me a bunch of hot dogs, and I'm gonna be fine, right? I end up like I think I have 2 beers, and end up eating 9 $1 hot dogs. 9. Like there is no exaggeration
you
to that.
slap down a 10, you're like, leave $1 for yourself.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. And all these hot dogs were pre-cooked. It's not like they were like
they're wrapped in foil.
They're wrapped in foil, and she's just like pulling them out and like hands them to me, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna eat all 9 of these. I ate 9 hot dogs. I was fine, right? I go home. I go to bed. I wake up at 3 in the morning in the worst pain of my entire life. I think that night my gallbladder exploded probably because of everything that I ate.
Aaron, did you have any shame buying those 9 hot dogs? Were you like looking at the lady like, how many did you want? Yeah, he said 9.
Can you put extra relish and chili on all of them, please?
He's just thinking he got over on the system. He's like, yeah, these guys are idiots.
And I swear to God, for 2 solid hours, I shit piles, just formless piles out of my butt. Like it was not like there was. It was the worst experience of my entire life. Like I was sitting there.
Because you ate 9 hot dogs.
Oh my God. I was holding onto the rail in my bathroom in Myrtle Beach. And
God.
Fuck hot dogs. I'm never eating hot dogs again. I went back a couple weeks later.
You ate Myrtle Beach hot dogs.
I know, man.
COVID dogs nowadays.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about some wrestling. Oh, go ahead, Cookie.
Would you say that was the worst food? Would you say that food gave you the worst diarrhea? Ever?
With a food, I will say, in this similar period, this was maybe a couple weeks later, I ate the wings because it was I was so broke between jobs in Myrtle Beach, and they had like 25-cent wings at Mellow Mushroom, and they do something with their wings. Same sort of thing happened with the wings. So like I had multiple nights of me just shitting my brains out. So,
dear God.
Now you can buy pizza for the podcast, right?
That's right. Would you guys like some pizza?
That was really good pizza, by the way.
Thank you. Wheels Pizza. You should be a sponsor of $2 Steak or Pro Wrestling Podcast. All right, let's talk about some professional wrestling.
This is good pizza, man.
All right, for our first match of the evening, and apparently Mike didn't even fucking care to take any notes of it. It was Marty Janetti.
He's free-balling it, man.
You don't even know the life that I lead currently.
Marty Janetti against Shawn Michaels, and you think that Travis, who picked the art this week from your match, he wants to hear some very good analysis of this matchup, art. And you're shitting the bed.
Well, hold on. Let me at least get to my spot. All right?
I'm
and
ready.
Then we can all agree that I sucked afterwards.
Yes.
Okay. Shawn Michaels versus the self-proclaimed murderer, Marty Jannetty from Raw. July 19th, 1993. Shawn Michaels is defending his Intercontinental Champion against his former tag team partner, who apparently murdered a man. Aaron, what the fuck is going on with Marty Jannetty?
That's a good question, Mike. As his therapist, I'd like to think that Marty's on an upswing in his life right now, but I don't know. Marty has, ever since his career ended in WWF back in the 90s, he's had sporadic runs with the company, and since that, he has had some weird shit come out about him over the years, and you feel bad for him, and then you don't feel bad for him.
What was some of the other stuff? Because I've heard.
Yeah, we had some interesting.
Yeah, so I've heard the name.
Group chat
right,
today.
I've heard the name Marty Jannetty before.
Okay,
we've never had a match on his show, so I've never watched it. I was familiar that he had, or like there was something like you don't want to be the Marty Jannetty or something. I didn't understand what that meant. Care to explain that?
Yeah, so Marty and Jannetty. Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels were a very big tag team back in the late 80s and early 90s. They were kind of like the new age rock and roll express. They were the Midnight Rockers and then the Rockers in WWF. These guys were the high flying kind of tag team with Marty Jannetty kind of playing the Robert Gibson role and Shawn Michaels kind of playing the Ricky Morton role. You know, the guys that got beat up by FTR this past week on AEW. They broke up in early 90s. Shawn Michaels turned on Marty Jannetty, and then Marty Jannetty kind of faded into obscurity. It wasn't like he didn't get a big singles run after this. He did some things in the 90s. He became an Intercontinental Champion. He also was a tag team guy with One Al Snow as the New Rockers in the mid-90s. But he never really caught on with the fans as much as Shawn Michaels did.
And then he just did a bunch of drugs.
He probably, allegedly, did some drinking and some drugs, but he loved his daughter. And
what is going like this? I don't understand what happened.
I don't know.
Go ahead, tell it, Aaron.
You brought it up.
Give me the Marty Jannetty story.
He's made some statements online where he was attracted to his long lost daughter, and like he didn't know that it was his daughter, and like he tried to like date her, and then it ended up being his biological daughter, and then he allegedly murdered a homosexual behind a bowling alley.
Yeah, last week
Marty Jannetty, real unsolved mystery.
Marty Jannetty posted online while trashing apparently his girlfriend or ex-wife and saying some semi-racist things.
Yes.
He also admitted to the first time he made a man disappear was when he murdered a guy outside a bowling alley
for trying to molest him
and threw him in the river.
So Marty Jannetty, and one of my favorite memes that have come out of this whole thing it's that picture of the guy. What's the guy's name? He's an old NFL player. Big dude.
Ray Lewis?
What?
Ray Lewis?
No. He does a lot of stuff online, really funny stuff, like the old heads, like skits, like where it's like old heads be like blah blah blah.
Oh, Spice Adams.
Yeah, Spice Adams. It's that picture of him behind the tree rubbing his hands, like looking, and the picture says, "This week, Dark Side of the Ring producers looking at Marty Jannetty right now, like." Waiting to tell his story.
Season 3.
I think the craziest thing is like, because I think it was in like Columbus, Georgia or something like that, or somewhere down south, but they're like, the police department's like, well, I guess we're going to have to open a case because you just admitted to murder. Anyway, long story short, they're wrestling on Raw. And it's in New York. Is it the Hammerstein?
Yeah.
Hammerstein
Ballroom.
Hammerstein Ballroom. So, I didn't watch a lot of wrestling growing up, but I know this place.
So this was like, when I was little, this was the ideal professional wrestling venue to me. Like when Raw was very early on in its days, I literally made mom and dad leave Tiger Cubs early every Monday night so I could get home to watch Monday Night Raw. And I just remember vividly that siren, whoa, 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 we're here live from the Hammerstein Ballroom, Monday Night Raw.
And it's great because as a kid or whatever, even just up until recently, you don't put two and two together. And then you actually start looking around. You're like, oh, my God, this is actually a ballroom. And they have, like, stands set up onto the stage. Really cool. So we've got Vince. We've got Randy Savage.
Right.
And we've got Bobby Heenan on commentary. They did a great job. They were probably the stars of the show.
Oh, my God.
I think this might actually be one of our first Randy Savage commentary matches.
Yeah, I think so, brother. Was that bad? Was that a terrible impersonation?
It was borderline.
It was all right.
Well,
Thank you, Kirk.
halfway through, Randy's like, I lost my voice.
And 30 seconds in, he says, 30 seconds in, brother, and this is the greatest match I've ever seen in my entire life.
And you know what? It was a good match. By the way, Shawn Michaels comes out, and he's accompanied with Diesel.
Yeah, that's right, Big Daddy. Well, this was before Big Daddy Diesel. This was just
Diesel.
Diesel.
Diesel's wearing he's got cowboy boots, but he's got like
an acid wash jean jacket with studs.
Yeah, it was just
beautiful.
The weirdest 90s-ist.
He looks
kind of
so
thing.
young. He's got
his big old like glasses, sunglasses on.
He wasn't limping. Yeah, it was a good time. But this, you know what? And I get to appreciate. Yes, these guys were probably the high flyers of their time. They were definitely running around. They were doing good stuff. It was entertaining. What I would say is, I kind of, the reason I didn't go back and rewatch it is because I wasn't drawn into anything with the actual match.
Yeah, this is not your style of wrestling. I always forget.
It's not, but I will say there is a huge contrast to the high flyers in the 90s and the high flyers today because, you know, as you watch a lot of wrestling, and I haven't even watched that much, but just seeing the amount of wrestling that I have, you know, you kind of start anticipating things that you're going to see, right? And so, you know, certain little things that they would do, you know, I would expect they're going up the top rope. I'm expecting them to do some kind of moonsault or some kind of crazy thing like off the ropes. And they come down and just do like just a double axe handle.
Yeah.
Or, you know, where I would expect them to hit like a running shooting star press. Like they're just, they grab a hold. So like that, the contrast there, it kind of did take me back a little bit. The match does get a little interesting because it is a Monday night. So right before a commercial break, Marty Janetti pins Shawn Michaels.
Yep.
Shawn Michaels gets the leg up. So you go to and they
right at the third count. It was like a beautiful ending.
It was great timing and bam, bam, bam. Earl Hebner
Correct.
is the referee. He's actually the referee a couple times tonight on our matches this week. And
he is. I didn't even think about that.
But yeah, Earl Hebner will say for Janetti counts, bam, bam, bam. Shawn Michaels counts a lot slower. So
That he tried to screw Shawn.
so we go to commercial break. We're like, oh my God, Marty Janetti just won. And then turns out over commercial break, they went to replay.
Bobby Heenan.
Bobby Heenan pulled them all aside and said, hey, this isn't right. And then the rest of the match, Savage is just laying into Bobby Heenan. He's like, I don't know, man. Maybe we go to
we need to do replay for that, brother? He's like, what would have, and Bobby the Brain Heenan's like, well, what would have happened if it was the other way around? And he's like, I got no comment.
Long story short, Shawn Michaels, with the help of Diesel, does maintain his Intercontinental Championship. Overall, the wrestling was good.
Yeah, it was a solid
It's a Shawn Michaels match. The wrestling was good. Marty Jannetty is a good wrestler. It's a good wrestling match. They didn't capture me in the 16 minutes of the
I'd like to say that I was actually very captured throughout the match. I enjoyed it.
Is that because you knew a little bit more of the history or what? Like I just
maybe I really thought that they were both honestly, yeah, I think that's probably the reason. I thought they were both very good
for
workers.
me, like in the past when it's these kind of matches for myself and I don't know any of the history or anything like that, when commentary is on point and they're drawn in and telling me the whole story, I do a lot better. Commentary was good, but they did a little bit of like the pre-build to this, but it wasn't as, I mean, Vince is great, play-by-play.
He's so good.
Bobby and Randy are great color guys, but it just overall, as a casual fan, trying to go back and watch one match from a Raw in the 90s, it just didn't kind of grab me.
I think Vince, one of my favorite Vince-isms, and he doesn't like calling moves for some reason. Yeah,
I've noticed that.
And he'll say, what a maneuver! Instead of saying he just did a high crossbody or something.
That high, he inflects weird too. So like he'll be like talking regularly to the other guys,
right?
Like the other comedy guys, and then he like starts calling the match. He's like gets real high and it gets real fast, and it does. It kind of catches you and yanks you in.
It's good. He and I can see why he wanted to be the play-by-play for so long for WWF because he was so good at it.
Well, on the link, it's WW.
Yeah. I forgot that they do cut out his. So it must have been from one of the various Shawn Michaels DVDs that I own. Like somebody burned it off of the DVD.
God bless Daily Motion, right?
Can we say the real MVP of this podcast has been Daily Motion?
There's some 100% shit.
I'm not a big fan of Daily Motion in the sense of like,
I hate
their UI sucks.
Every time I get a Daily Motion link, I'm like, God damn it.
Well, I say that because there's no way to like easily watch it on my TV, so I have to watch it on my phone.
I like watching it on the big screen.
So you can't just pull it up on YouTube. But
I love it.
But there's some shit that is just there.
If I know that something is going to be like, so like one or two things on Daily Motion. It's either the most obscure fucking thing that I could find is going to be on Daily Motion, or two, it's like a high-profile matchup between two high-profile guys that keeps getting pulled from YouTube. Yes, Cookie.
Can I just say that 98% of my matches are Daily Motion?
Yeah.
So I never get to watch it on fucking
'Cause you're
the
getting
big
that
screen.
That wild Japanese.
Always
shit.
on the phone.
All I get. Aaron was giving me shit for not taking notes. I'm like, it's because I'm on my fucking phone. Like, what do you want me to do?
Exactly.
Do you have a problem with Daily Motion, Cookie?
No, because I won't get a match if you don't.
Sorry.
Daily
Yeah, for real though, I didn't even think about it. Like, apparently New Japan's very good about finding their shit on YouTube. Like, so there you go.
Yeah. My shit on their other hand is all over YouTube.
Your shit is like insane all the time. So yeah, like speaking of which, that bathhouse match was on YouTube.
Yeah, titties and
Oh,
all.
yeah.
In bush, full bush, YouTube.
Guys, I want to say in the near future, we will be having a sequel to the bathhouse death match because I found the second part to it. The
Oh, my
second
God.
part is
Oh,
even
yes.
more explicit than the first. You
More
were
bush.
uncomfortable during the first one. This one, it's like, oh, hello, vagina for an entire 5 minutes.
Well, back to my match.
Sorry, I was just really excited about the bathhouse
Well,
death match.
back to my shtick, I should say. So that was my match. Do you have any other questions, comments for me?
No, that apparently
may
that's
I
it.
carry on?
Yeah,
with
you
my
may
deal?
do your social media update.
Well, actually, before I get to the social media update, I want to give a shout out.
God damn it! I thought it was gonna be like a.
Well, this is an impromptu ad read for a rustic campsite in downtown Wilmington. Our friend has put his pirate ship up on the Airbnb. So if you are looking for a rustic campsite in downtown Wilmington, walkable to your coronavirus hotspot that is Cape Fear Wine and Beer, feel free.
You gotta bleep that out.
Motherfucker! Every week we say where you work. People know where you work, Tolbert.
I also work at Caprice Bistro, which is probably another coronavirus hotspot. All right, let's not throw.
Long story short,
Let's keep the playing field equal here, folks.
downtown Wilmington, the coronavirus hotspot that is our downtown. If you would like to stay at walkable distance from all of that COVID cloud, feel free to look up the rustic sailboat pirate ship on Airbnb. $60 a night. It's a pretty fun gig. Me and Tolbert really enjoyed it. So
Guys, don't worry that they do have a system that'll clean up all the cum. So go ahead and stay on the boat.
well,
It actually is a rather nice boat.
It is a very nice
Cold
boat.
it's got
AC.
air conditioning.
Does it have TV?
It does have a TV. I don't know if it's hooked up.
Does it have
Yeah.
internet?
I don't know.
If your phone has
if you're
internet,
in the marina, I'm sure.
but there's showers and bathrooms in the marina.
No,
Anyway.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Anyway,
What's the price?
$60 a night.
$60 a night?
And for an extra fee, you'll get a surprise visit from the $2
Yeah.
crew.
Hey, yeah, if you text us and let us know, we'll come on down there. We know Nick's
We'll
boat
say
real
hey.
well.
Tell them $2 sent you.
All right.
It's Slip 17. We know where it is.
I'm not going to shout out the code, but I know the code. All right. Instagram.
Worst commercial ever.
He actually just got a 1-star review from that commercial. Guys, I was listening to this really obscure wrestling podcast, and they were talking about your boat. I'm going to give it 1 star. Lots of cum.
Instagram, Tolbert, up to 135 followers. I don't know how
he
he
gained
did
a
it.
couple followers.
Oh, my God. All Tolbert posted this
including
week.
Charlie Dreamer.
Charlie Dreamer followed us on Twitter and Instagram this week.
Finally, Charlie, of all the people that listen to our podcast regularly, he has yet to follow us. Thank you, Charlie Dreamer.
But all Tolbert posted was the art from last week and this week. But the art last week. Oh, my
It's
God. The Thug Life
incredible.
photo of the Dawson
Incredible.
boys.
Amazing.
I mean, what are they? 7th grade, 6th grade
It's
in
that
this?
Fayetteville life, brah.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, nothing but it. You got to do it. But yeah, so we're
Can you tell me who would have been Orlando number 1? Was that
I
wasn't
had
Shaq?
the same jersey.
Was it Shaq?
I had the same jersey.
Was it Shaq?
that's
Yeah,
Shaq.
it was
That's
Shaq.
Shaq.
Yeah.
But them boys, you can just tell they're going places in the wrestling world with this photo.
It's the middle fingers that get me.
Yep.
They're children, and they are juvenile delinquents. Like, you know that those kids kicked a cat while walking around the neighborhood.
Oh my God!
Fuck you, cat.
Twitter, we're up to 302 followers. We had a couple posts this week.
One I had to take down.
Yeah. Which one?
The one that got the most likes and retweets and everything.
Why did you take that down?
Go ahead.
Saga of professional wrestling Twitter. I was kind of putting over the fact that the Bull Nakano compilation tapes, which are unauthorized, I accidentally tagged Bull Nakano and the guy who puts together the tapes, right? And they're really cool. We watch them every once in a while. Cool compilations. He retweeted it, and he's like, oh, shit, Bull Nakano just liked it. Oh, shit, why did she like it? Oh, shit, he tagged her in it, too. He did not want her to know about these compilations because he doesn't want him taking them off of YouTube. So there you go.
Wow. Well, anyway, we gave a shout-out to Dory Funk.
Dory Funk.
Minoru Suzuki against the Robots.
I tried to find that match for you this week, Tolbert. I really did.
There's a photo of an empty $2 studios 2 minutes after we were supposed to start recording. That was up today, boys.
Oh, that doesn't even count. You can't count
I'm
that.
just saying. But anyway, check us out on Instagram and Twitter at @$2steak_ for all your pro wrestling shenanigan needs. And apparently, Aaron blowing up people's spots.
I did. Yeah. I will say, I really want to watch. Potentially, we have to find Minoru Suzuki fighting a mechanical mummy at some point in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's on Daily Motion.
I know. I looked everywhere for that fucking match and could not find it.
No hits, no shits. It's been a week.
It's been a week. There we go, boys. All right. Cookie, you got from the G1 Climax, you got one Richard Flair. I will always call him Richard Flair.
Richard Flair.
I call him Richard Flair.
Every time I pull out of the neighborhood and I pass Legion Stadium, I give a little salute.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for your service, Rick, and for almost dying on the way to this shitty stadium. Fuck Legion Stadium. Actually, no, I really do. I've got a lot of great memories tied to Legion Stadium. But New Hanover, the New Hanover High School Wildcats played there.
Fuck the Wildcats.
Fuck Wildcats. Woo! Hockey Vikings. Woo! All right, Cookie, you've got Kenji Muto against Ric Flair from the G1 Climax.
Can I just say that was a weird time for a plug for the Hoggart Vikings?
Woo! Bum, 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 bum,
Okay.
bum, 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 bum. Ah! We come from the land of the ice and snow with the midnight and the Husquin roll. Hammer of the gods.
Are you done?
We drive our ships to new land. Fight the horde.
The horde of cats.
Aaron, you're benched.
No!
Get out.
I make this team.
Get out of my segment.
My dad's the head of the booster club.
Oh, God. Kenji Muto. We all know who this is.
So this is actually our first Kenji Muto match, right?
I thought I had one previous to this.
No, I don't know, man. I think this might be our first actual Kenji match, right? I really.
Well, if it is what a hell of a match.
Yes.
And I'll get to it. But he's going against the drip god himself, Ric Flair.
God bless him.
Mr. Woo! And he's got a clean-ass cut, too. His fade was looking crispy as hell.
This beautiful hair on Richard for this point in his career.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was.
It was it was like a high and tighter than it usually is, correct?
Yes, I would say. And
Floating on top, man.
Flowy on top, it's short on the sides, beautiful all around.
pretty clean for the 90s, if you ask me.
That's right.
Yeah, but anyway. And Aaron, we didn't even talk about our little debacle, okay, earlier about the cookout and how it was right. You didn't even put me over, man.
All right, so full disclosure, my friend sent me a TikTok on what to do the first time you ever go to a black cookout. And the TikTok explains all the steps, and one of the steps is to be ready for the electric slide. And Cookie, you were right. I was wrong. I should have gotten the high kick and started up an electric slide dance at the cookout that I went to a couple weeks ago.
You're lucky I didn't talk about spades because that would have really sold it.
I laughed at that.
I've never played spades in my life,
Oh
but I
my
think
God,
that
dude.
I would be so bad at
Hey,
it.
white boy, want to lose some money?
Yes, I do. I do. As a matter of fact, I brought wads of dollars.
All right. Before I even get to the countdown, Flair, I want to know, Aaron, did you catch this? Flair mouthing off to the ref in the very beginning of the match. Flair is just working the arm, he's working the wrist, doing hammerlocks and whatnot, and Flair says something to the ref. He says this. He says, "You shut your mouth when you're talking to me, little man."
Yes, I did know.
Boss ass shit. That is boss shit. In a foreign country, and he's saying, "You shut your mouth." I am Richard Flair. Do you know who you're talking to?
You shut your mouth.
Anyway, let's get to it.
Cookies top 4, number 1.
Aaron, what kind of shit are you pulling here?
What do you mean?
What do I mean? Did you watch my match?
Yes.
Did you notice anything wrong with my match?
No.
Okay, well, at 7 minutes and 40 seconds, the clip freezes. It stops working. And I don't think you know, it's them two looking at each other. They're about to go head to head, and the clip just cuts out. Flair and Muto looking at each other, and I was just like, what did Aaron just give me? A jacked up clip. Go back, go ahead, look it up.
I'm looking it up right now.
You're lucky I don't call Zane and the boys on you.
7
Because
minutes
I was-
and what? What was
46 seconds.
7 minutes and 40 seconds. Go
the?
ahead.
Full of shit, by the way.
I'm not full of shit.
It's your internet.
It is your internet. Notoriously, your internet sucks major balls. Cookie.
Why did I go back and the same thing happened again at 7 minutes and 40 seconds?
Right here, 7 minutes and 40 seconds. We're gonna watch it.
Go ahead.
All right, hold on. It's buffering.
Oh, it's all
All
right.
right, now it's going. They're looking. All right, you are right. That it does
Oh,
freeze for a couple seconds. I thought that was my internet as well. No, but it's back. It's back. It was like a few seconds.
I know. It was only for like 12 seconds, but for those 12 seconds, I was tempted to call Zane and the boys and have them interrupt the podcast and start shooting on you for giving me a shitty clip.
Well, me and Zane and Lynx aren't the best of friends.
Well, that's all right. Number one for Cookie's Countdown was don't let it happen again. That's it.
Wait, that's number 1. That has nothing to do with the match.
Does it? Yes, it does have something to do with the match because it didn't work for 12 seconds.
All right.
You know what
anyway.
the next thing I saw? A shoulder tackle. Where
I
it
did
come
see that
from?
too. Number 2.
All right, real quick. Ric Flair working the head, doing the dirtiest player in the game shtick, and the ref telling him to stop. And what does Ric Flair do? He just laughs at the man and just says,
Yeah,
"No."
what are you gonna do about it?
He just. I wonder, did Rick even know what he was saying?
No,
Like, probably not.
not
was
at
just-
all.
Just laughing his ass off at him and just saying, "Nope, not gonna happen. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing."
He's
But
like,
the
what are you
true
going to
number
do?
two-
What are you going to do about it? Are you going to disqualify Richard Flair?
No, he's just gonna chop the hell out of you. I would. Anyway, the true number 2 goes to Muto's like springboard leap. I don't know if you saw this, Aaron, but the shit was crazy. He did like a cannonball into the pool, except the pool was the mat, and he just flat backed it right on the mat.
Yes.
It was absolutely nasty. And then Flair snapped on that figure 4 leg lock. Beautiful transition. Mm-hmm. All right. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what.
Okay.
He is pleased.
Cookie.
I didn't know what else to say. I was trying to think of what to say next, so I didn't have anything.
Number 3.
Yes, and then Richard applies the chop.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
I
Cookie, come
lost
on. Number 3. What?
All right. Number three. Flair going to the top rope. We all know how this typically ends. What is so funny now? The name of this
You just had
podcast
a
is gonna
Flair
be
going to the top rope moment. That's what's funny.
All right, I'm back.
Okay, so Flair on the top rope.
Flair going to the top rope. Anyway, we know how this typically ends. It's not in the favor. Oh, God, Jesus, now I'm fucking up. Flair fucked up. He got up to the top rope. And Kenji Muto caught him. No surprise. Muto caught him. Tried to go for a superplex, but he does a superplex and then just starts bleeding. Did you notice that, Aaron? Like, he did the superplex.
So
he
what
just
it
starts
was,
dripping.
what I gathered from this match, going into the match, Kenji had a injury to his forehead. Like he had a cut that was bandaged throughout before the match and then the opening minutes of it. And I think just the pressure of picking up a guy and throwing him, that may have reopened up the cut on his forehead. I
mean, I guess so, because I don't know. It looked like he suplexed him, and then next thing I knew, he just started fucking gushing blood everywhere. And
it was almost like there is something. Kenji has to take like blood thinners or something. Like, it is disgusting.
Absolutely. I mean, like Crimson Mask and everything, but he hulks the fuck up afterwards.
Like he becomes Mutoh at that point.
That's what I was thinking.
He kind of transitions to his Mutoh character when he got that Crimson Mask.
Exactly, and he started doing Mutoh moves too, because he did his cartwheel elbow. He tried the moonsault, he missed, and then Ric Flair does what Ric Flair does, and he just starts working the cut, and and just making the Crimson Mask worse than what it was before.
It was uncomfortable towards the end. It was almost like his Hiroshi Hase match.
Well, I tried to show Diane like what was happening. She said, "Don't show me that shit. I don't want to see it," because it was absolutely disgusting. Like watching this man just bleed profusely all over himself. For like reference sake, he had white boots. By the end of the match, his boots were pink.
Ugh,
it was disgusting. And if you're wondering why I'm not going over the rest of this match, it's basically because it was a very technical match.
It was.
I mean, there was a lot of wrist locks, neck binds, hammer locks, chops, Ric Flair stuff. It's a technical match. But it was good. Anyway, majority of this match, Ric Flair is just like maintaining his heat, blah, blah, blah for 15 minutes. And then they build up the Mutoh. And when Mutoh starts bleeding, that's when he starts becoming Mutoh, starts throwing out the moves. And then that's when we see the transition. Sorry.
Number 4.
The Mutoh scale. Jesus Christ. Some UFC fighters never bleed this much in their careers. But the sight of his, like, the blood all over his face, and you see Ric Flair giving him that figure 4 leg lock, and he's just, like, shaking his head. You see blood going everywhere. It's just a sight to see, a disgusting sight to see.
Yeah.
But what a visual. I mean, the crowd, I don't know if you noticed this, but the crowd, every time Ric Flair went woo, they replied. They loved it.
Right.
They knew who Ric Flair was.
Well, he was a gaijin coming in, but this gaijin was a very special gaijin. You've got your Stan Hansen who stays over there, your Terry Funks who are over there a lot. Ric Flair was an attraction for this crowd. Yeah. They never see Ric Flair in Japan.
Worldwide, baby.
Yeah. Woo!
Oh, yeah. Worldwide, to say the least. I mean, this was during his early WCW days, right?
So, no, this would be later. What was it, 93 or 95?
Maybe 95.
Okay, so it would have been
95.
It would have been after his WWF stuff and back. So, yeah, he would be in WCW at the time.
WCW? Okay. Yeah. Then that makes sense why he transitioned over. But, yeah, I mean, anyway, just going back to it, like this 24-minute classic culminated with Ric Flair snapping on that figure 4 leg lock, and you just see blood going everywhere. Mutoh eventually turns it around, transitions it, puts the figure four on Ric Flair. And then Ric Flair gets out of that, of course. And the place goes ballistic when eventually Mutoh hits his I don't even know what to call it. I guess it's a reverse suplex, and then eventually hits his moonsault. And after he hits his moonsault, he pins Ric Flair. He gets the pin, gets the win. Crowd's going crazy. Muto the entire time is just shaking his head, blood's going everywhere. It's the crazy thing to see.
It was an electric feel.
What'd you say?
It was like an electric feel throughout that stadium. Like when you're watching this
absolutely.
match, you're like, oh my God, these people love this.
It was electric. Like it made me want to be there. Like I would want to see that match, but like I could only see it one time because like you just don't see blood like that. You don't see color like that anymore.
No.
The closest thing we've seen was that Cody Rhodes and whatever match.
Or the Muta against Hiroshi Hase match.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm saying, but this day and age, you won't see that.
Oh, you don't see it anymore. Correct.
Honestly, I don't think you need to do that much color anymore, to be honest with you.
No, and for the crazy part is, for the most part, I think that was accidental. You know, it wasn't like I don't think it was. Yes.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, you know, going back to what we said earlier, you know, just winging it. This was a winged match. This was not something that was pre-planned with a lot of high spots or anything like that. I think once he saw the color coming down, or he knew that he was about to start bleeding, he was just like, let's transition this match and let's do this. And you see what the results were. I mean, the crowd got behind it. Everyone loved it. I loved it. Aaron, I think you loved this match as well.
I absolutely loved this match.
Yeah. I mean, I think you sent this to us in the group chat earlier, and you were like, who wanted this match?
Right.
And of course.
And I knew it was going to be you anyway. So.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, it's a Muto match.
Right.
Yeah, of course. Unless Tolbert knows Japanese, which I don't think he does.
I wish we had a translator.
I do not.
I know. It's a shame that we don't have
a translator. Maybe we could know these things.
I feel like we used to.
How much stuff did she translate for you?
I don't know. Our relationship was ended before it could even start, Mike. Before it could even start.
Thirsty for a Japanese translator?
Yes.
You're gonna follow her and not even communicate with her?
Yeah, I will now.
All right, do it, and then you can follow her.
Okay. Fuck you, Mike.
My honorable mentions. I have one.
Yes.
And it's to Ric Flair. Shout out to Ric Flair for saving his own life, okay? Muto went to the top rope. When he went to deliver that superplex, he didn't put Ric Flair's arm over his head. Oh, and God. If you notice, like, yeah, he didn't put he was supposed to put Ric Flair's arm over his head so that obviously he won't break his neck or anything crazy like that. Ric Flair has to put his own arm over his head, literally right before he's about to release. So this was close to being Ric Flair's last match. I don't know if this is going to be his retirement match, because he was about to get a spike DDT straight into the mat. But he saved his own life, and if you look closely, the referee even guided the both of them down, because he saw that this move was about to end very horribly, very bad. That was it.
Cookie. So I have an honorable mention. Kenji Muto doing his own woo with a crimson mask was one of the coolest things in the world. Like Ric Flair, like doing his taunt throughout the match, and then Muto with a face full of blood looking at him and doing woo.
Yeah,
amazing.
Yeah, and he was spitting blood at the same time, so I know it was a wet woo.
Good.
So it was like woo, you know what I mean? I don't want to spit on my own camera or the mic, but yeah, you know what I mean.
I know.
Now, I'm going to give this 5 cookies and a Finn Balor, because Finn Balor didn't lose.
Oh, okay.
But I almost took 1 cookie away, Aaron, and you want to know why?
Why?
Because you gave me a jacked up clip.
All right, next.
12 seconds was missing out of it. Damn it.
I apologize.
But 5 cookies.
5 cookies and a Finn Balor. Golden cookie nominee?
Golden cookie nominee, 100%.
Golden
man.
cookie nominee.
Konnichiwa!
All right, for the main event of the evening, Tolbert. Man, you have got a shit show, an entertaining shit show between Team 3D and Curry Man and Shark Boy.
Yes, we do. And this is a TNA match. So this is what year? Like early 2000s?
This is 2008-ish, maybe?
Yeah, after the dissolve of WCW.
Yeah, it's
a weird time to be a wrestling fan. Props, I have to say, before we start this match, props to the crowd. It had to be a tough time to be a wrestling fan in this era. And I know, Varnum, you're doing a project right now on wrestling fans.
Yeah, fuck wrestling. It's called Fuck Wrestling Fans, a study on fucking pieces of shit professional wrestling fans, written by Aaron Varnum, University of North Carolina Masters Association, Wilmington.
So anyway, so we have a lively crowd. They're doing what they can to stick with the sport. We have an octagon ring because it's TNA.
No, six-sided. It's six-sided. It's a pentagram.
Six-sided. It's a pentagon. Okay.
Excuse
me.
El pentagram.
A pentagram? What the fuck?
Pentagram is five, right?
Than that.
Yeah.
So we got some tight ropes and a small ring. It just looks awkward for the opening shot. I don't know.
Yeah. So I saw they had.
I tried, never could get into TNA. I just couldn't. I don't know, man.
I watched it. I hate watched it.
I still watched it. I mean, I just couldn't get that.
I definitely hate watched it. Yeah, the six sides of the ring kind of were weird. It's interesting. I didn't like it, but I did like it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have mixed feelings about total nonstop action.
But we had some great matchups, despite the shittiness of TNA sometimes. There were some good matchups, not including this one. But
I absolutely... You're underselling how entertaining this matchup is.
So we have Team 3D, which is Bubba, or should I say Brother Bubba and Brother Devon.
Brother Devon and Brother Bubba.
And their confidant, their team leader, manager, Divine.
Yeah, I didn't know who that guy was.
I had no idea who he was.
I didn't either. He looked like a piece of shit that I would see at any in a wrestling
from
show.
The commentary, like Johnny Divine or someone Divine. I don't know. He was this guy in a tank top. He looked really
a wife
trashy.
beater. Don't even say it was a tank top. That was a wife beater in Jinko jeans.
Yeah, and he had a kendo stick, a Singapore cane. Excuse me. And he was just there to fucking call some shit, man.
That's right.
That's all he was there for. Anyway, so Bubba and Devon, they come out. They're looking pissed, man, because there's a stipulation to this match. Right?
I loved this. Right? This was one of my favorite parts of the whole match.
They're on waivers. They have not been performing. They're like, boys, you're getting out of shape. You need to tighten it up. Tighten it up, boys. They have to weigh in. They have to hit a target weight of 275.
That's what I need to do. I need to do this every week for a fucking podcast. You are not on this podcast if you do not make weight.
Yeah.
And
why are you looking at me when you say that? Bullshit.
So the boys have to make weight, right? And they're pissed about it. They're not happy. They're like, we're in shape. We're veterans. We've been through the shit. We fought in the trenches. We put so many motherfuckers through tables. We don't need this, you know. I have to call. I have to call bullshit because they are every bit of 375.
There is no way.
There's no way they
are 275.
Right. All right. So before we get to the weigh-in, we introduce their opponents, which is he's hot, he's spicy, he's delicious. Curry Man.
Can you do the dance for me real quick?
It's like
but you got your hands as a C and then you do this.
Yeah. So Curry Man is a Japanese wrestler. He's he's head to toe in a mask in green red and yellow and spicy looking. What does it say on his back? Hot and delicious.
Yeah, I don't even know. I know what you're talking about. It's so tasty.
So tasty. And he does a dance all the way down the runway. He actually jumps on the announcer's table, does a little sexy little dance, right?
But guys, it's not Alex Wright under that hood. Who is it under that hood?
There we go.
Earlier.
Christopher Daniels.
Yes.
Oh, and he's got some moves. He can swing those hips. Anyway, we introduced his partner, Shark Boy, which is...
I don't know. It's just Shark Boy.
In a ripoff of Stone Cold Steve.
I love it. Shell, give me a shell, yeah.
It's like... They take Stone Cold's music and they just kind of like turn the bass down and like turn the treble all the way up and then...
No, it's not dun 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 dun. It's dun 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 dun. It's a completely different song. It's Ice Ice Baby.
Yeah. And he comes out with a knockoff leather vest that says "Shell Yeah," on the back because he is a luchador / Japanese wrestler with a fin
I
on
don't
his
know,
head.
man. Cookie, can you give us any insight on Shark Boy?
All I know about Shark Boy is that he had like a traumatic brain injury, and he like remembered Stone Cold, and that's how they played it off as. They're like, I swear to God, that's what they did in TNA. It was terrible booking. He had like a really bad brain injury, but whatever they said, and he remembered Stone Cold, and he just envisioned himself being Stone Cold. That's
What was the Curryman
So did
stuff?
the producers.
The Curryman
Wait, what?
stuff, like it was Christopher Daniels, like got out of a contract and like he came back under the hood, sort of thing, or like what was
Yeah,
the
it's
story
like-
behind
yeah.
Curryman?
I think Christopher Daniels. He lost a
Like a loser
retirement
leave
match
town?
or whatever it was. Yeah, it was like a loser leaves town, so he comes back as Curryman, and then he comes back as Suicide after that.
Oh, he was Suicide too.
He was also Suicide as
Oh
well.
my
for a
God,
little-
I didn't watch TNA at all, man.
Me
Like
neither, dude.
it was
Yeah, neither
awful.
I would peek
No.
in like, yeah,
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna go get laid. I'm gonna go to the bar now because I'm old enough. But anyway, so the Bubba and Devon are pissed. They have to weigh in for this match, right? They have to hit 275. Devon weighs in first. He's looking pretty confident, and he makes it pretty quick. Refs are like, dude, you made it. You worked hard. You're trim. You're slim. You got it.
Earl Hebner gave him the thumbs up.
Yes, he did. Then it's Bubba Ray's turn. He's not so confident. He's looking pretty thick.
And I am not confident either.
No. And he reluctantly steps on that scale.
I'm surprised he didn't take off all that heavy ass
Yeah,
clothes.
I would
too.
take it off a couple layers.
Yeah,
I would have
Jesus
stripped down some of my
Christ.
skinnies, you know?
skivvies, not skinnies.
Skimmies, whatever they're called. I would have just fucking
Same
got
thing.
naked and jumped on the scale. But they pause and they
Double pause.
Yeah, they double pause and they
Triple pause.
they have to announce it. They can't just say it and give them the thumbs up. They have to announce it to loudspeaker. He made weight because we're all surprised.
Yeah, I was very surprised.
So, they're rewarded immediately for making weight. Their manager, Johnny Devine, whatever the fuck his
I
name
forgot
is,
about that. Yeah.
has a bag of ho-hos and ding-dongs.
That's right.
And says, hey, boys, tossing them out like they're fucking beers.
That's right.
You know? They've worked hard to get here, and they honestly lost track, of the goal. They just, they could have wrapped it up. They could have knocked this match out and had it, but this is, it is what it is.
That's
man.
right.
Sorry.
That's
It happens.
That's
We
right.
always lose sight sometimes.
Lose sight of the ultimate goal,
So- They dig into
The forest
some
through the
ding-dongs,
trees.
right? So Curry Man and Shark Boy, they take advantage of this little distraction, try to get them both the double team small package. But no, we get a 1 count. And you're
That's
like,
right.
fuck you. We might be distracted. We ain't no chumps.
That's
we
right.
might be thick.
That's
We
right.
might be chubby. But
We're not stupid.
yeah, exactly. All right. So we get some decent double team from Curry Man and Shark Boy. They ain't here to play.
They're not. They're tiny, but they can work.
They move around. They move around well. They're coordinated. They're sharp. It might be the spices from the curry
That's right.
and electromagnetic
Have you ever had curried
waves
shark?
from the shark.
Curried
you know?
shark, I'm sure, is a delicious delicacy somewhere.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But they know what's going on in the ring. They know, they're aware. And they're double teaming these boys like a son of a bitch, right? Well, there's a stipulation to this match. It's not just your regular tag team match. It is a death match. 2-on-2
It's a
street match.
it's a fish market
Oh,
street
Yes.
fight.
So we have a stipulation. There's a fish market involved. It's like a death match, street match, whatever you want to call it, but with fish.
But with fish, and the perfect matchup for Tolbert, I think, who likes to fashion himself as a fisherman.
I like to think of myself as such.
Mhm.
But yes,
Mhm.
the boys go at it, right?
Right.
And we Cookie disagrees. You don't think I'm
I don't want to ruin Tolbert's segment, so I'll just keep my comments to
Mhm.
myself, Aaron.
Mhm.
Anyway, we get to it. The boys go right to it. Curryman and Shark Boy get the upper hand immediately.
That's right.
Double teaming the 3D team, which they have quite the size advantage over the 3D team does. So I was a little surprised. I thought they were going to just work them hard right off the bat. But no, these guys got moves. And they're coming at them from all angles, including over the rope dives, off the top rope, everything. Double teaming a man with all kinds of shit. Double tornado DDTs, everything. Some great moves, right? Well, Bubba Devon, they've had enough, right? They take it outside the ring. We're going to the fish market. We're going to Eagle Isle, baby. That's what it looks like, right? And we go right to it. They start going at it, but Curryman and Shark Boy, they're like, hey, man, these are our people, man. We got Fish Curry, we got Shark Boy from the ocean, and they take advantage of their surroundings. They start beating on Devon and Bubba Ray with some large, luscious striped bass.
Can I tell you how disappointed my father? I made my dad watch this so I could get confirmation on what the various fishes were. And my dad was angry because those were expensive.
Dude, I'm watching it. I'm going, this is hundreds of dollars.
God damn. Like, whatever intern they sent to the fish market, they're like, here's $2,000. Go buy.
Hundreds and thousands of dollars. Yeah.
My dad was just like, that's a good.
That one striped bass was like,
I'm still pissed because
it's a $70 fish.
They still have the tag in their lip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To tell where they came from and all this. They're expensive fish. And like, they look good. I'm like, God damn.
That's a good looking striper.
Yeah. So Curryman and Shark Boy start beating up on the Dudleys with these fish. And they're giving these little weird, like, stomach blows and stuff and smacking them. I have to say, I laughed out loud every time they took a striped bass and did a full-on back shot across either one of them.
I was really disappointed they were holding it poorly. Like, if you're gonna slap a man with a fish that size, you gotta gill it. You gotta get your hands in the gill so you can swing that thing like that.
That's an interesting look.
Yeah, that's an interesting take.
Because they're trying to hold the tail. They're trying to hold the tail. Like, you're not gonna get a lot of force with that.
I don't know. I feel like the weight, if you did some mathematics, the weight of the head,
it'd be like a baseball, like a swinging.
I feel like they probably can't swing as hard because they're gonna lose it.
You know what?
And I'm also surprised. Why didn't they gill it and punch him with it? I don't know, man. This is how I would do a fish market street fight.
So if you were to fight somebody with a fish in tow, like if
fish that size,
you gill it.
I'm gonna gill it.
You're saying you gill it.
I was also kind of disappointed that no fish actually exploded and like shot shit everywhere.
Why they didn't body slam somebody on fish? Anyway, go ahead.
It's not a Guar concert.
Yeah, we get pretty close, guys. We get pretty close. So after some fish shots from Curryman and Shark Boy, the Dudleys finally kind of come to their senses, get an upper hand.
That's right.
We see a big back body drop of Curryman onto a fish display, if you will. And we also see Bubba Ray go after the commentary crew.
That's right.
And the timekeeper with some catfish.
That's right.
Another various species, which he proceeds to bite, and he just totally catfishes the timekeeper.
That's right.
And throws some fish at him. It is great. It is great. So during all this chaos, we start to get back to the ring, right? Curryman decides, hey, man, I have enough of this. I've had enough of this. I'm going to break out my gear. I'm going to rig up my tackle. I'm going fishing.
That's right.
Dudley fishing.
He pulls out his rod. He's like, hey, we got ding dongs. He baits up the hook. He casts out. Hey, man, conditions are great.
He read the report.
Yeah. First cast, we get a bite, dude. There's nothing like the first cast when you get a bite. Nothing like it, right? I mean, you get a hard-on from that shit. Anyway.
What does he catch?
He hooks a big old Bubba Ray. Yeah.
Not a stingray?
He can't resist.
Not a manta ray?
He can't resist that bait. He goes right for it, man. Oh, he's hooked him. He's got him. He's trying to shake the hook.
I know. He was trying to fight.
He gives him a little wiggle. Tries to shake the hook. He reels him in, but sometimes you reel him in, they just spit the hook right when you get in the boat. You hate it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just got to punch that fish. That's what he does. He just punches that fish, right? And then we go to some in-ring action where, again, and I was kind of surprised, just from the history of the Dudleys. Curryman and Shark Boy kind of give the upper hand again, and they just start whooping up on them. And at times, Team 3D gets the upper hand. Of course, we have a table show up ringside.
That's right.
Right? You got a table set up, so you think, of course, it's the Dudleys.
Yeah.
These guys are going through that fucking table, right?
It's a table shark at that point. Yeah.
The crowd's chanting it.
Yeah.
They want it. Everyone wants to see it. I don't know if it's that shark radar Shark Boy has. He's just so aware of what's going on around him.
Yeah, he
He's
can
like,
smell it.
I'm not going through that table.
Mm-mm.
No. And they continue to beat up on him. And at one point, after some interference from their protege, Johnny Devine, they've had enough
the
of
high
it.
school dropout. Yeah.
They put him through that fucking table.
That's right.
And goddamn, he was through that table.
He hit hard.
Yeah. Definitely knocked the breath out of him, right? We get him out of the equation. He's been a nuisance in their side the whole time. He's gone. He's whatever. So Curryman and Shark Boy continue to whip up on the Dudleys. At times, again, they get the upper hand. We're coming to a head here, like
a fish head.
Yeah, the Dudleys aren't going to go out like this.
No.
They're just not.
Something stinks.
Something does stink. Something's fishy the whole time.
Something's fishy.
We think their little protege is out of the picture at the moment after some stiff back and forth.
Yeah.
Some, I think 4 in a row, 2 counts.
Yeah.
2 in a row, 2
Yeah.
counts.
Yeah. It was very. It got kind of hot there towards the end.
It did. Mr. Johnny Devine or whatever his name is comes in with a mysterious bag of powder. I think it's the 8-ball. Yeah,
I would either say that or I would definitely think it was cocaine.
So after a while, your buddy sees like, hey man, these guys need help. I'm going to interfere. The Dudleys were like, hey man, let's just deploy this fucking 3D, get it over with, get the 3 count, right? Johnny Devine thinks it's going to help a little bit and throw off the powder. Well, Curryman senses what's going on. He ducks.
It's like
Bubba Ray
that
gets the
spicy,
powder
spicy senses
to the face. He's blinded. He doesn't know what's going on, right? Well, Devon tries to deploy 3D. Curryman and Shark Boy reverse it. Bubba Ray 3Ds his own teammate. Shark Boy, Curryman get the pin. All the while, Bubba Ray thinks he's won.
I love that. It was such a good shot. Like Bubba Ray's counting with Earl Hebner. It's
blinded.
like really good.
Realizes what he's done. Devastated. Curryman and Shark Boy go on to rule TNA.
Forever. I'm sure they're still probably ruling TNA right now. Like we don't know because nobody watches TNA.
Yeah, a good match. A lot of fish. A lot of striped bass. At one time, I think there's a porgy chop involved. I don't know. I do like how Bubba Ray calls Curryman a paprika head at one point. Anyway.
What was the tiny fish that Bubba was throwing into this crowd?
Oh, we did
spots?
have a Terry Funk like spot.
Where something was thrown into the crowd.
There's
I don't know.
multiple
Threw a bunch of fish.
They were small ones.
At one point, he just started throwing fish in the crowd. And in an ECW fashion, fish got thrown back into the crowd.
One of them was a striped bass, almost hit Bubba in the face. I would have popped so hard on that.
There's a bunch of subtle fish spots.
And, can we also talk about where they're holding maybe Shark Boy's legs open, and then Bubba's got the striped bass, and he starts trying to make
this match is 21 minutes long, and there is so many just like little subtle things. It's crazy, but yes, we do.
You need to watch. It's very entertaining.
It is. We do. I almost forgot. We do have a spot where Bubba makes out with a fish.
That's right.
And delivers the
he tongues it.
Yeah, he really tongues it. He's got almost like a Gene Simmons tongue going on.
Yeah.
And we do have a back and forth spot where we do have the crotch blows off the top rope.
Fish going to people's dicks.
Yes.
Fish dicks.
Fish on dicks. Oh, man. Just definitely watch this match. Check it out. It's on YouTube.
It's very fun. It's on YouTube. It'll be in our
Not Daily
info.
Motion.
Not Daily Motion. Yeah, this is a legit one. You can watch this one on the big screen.
Oh, Jesus. But hell of a match. We got porgies, striped bass. We got all kinds of species.
Catfish.
And you know how that smell. It had to smell in that arena.
They were on ice.
I think honestly, if I was sitting in the ring and I was hit, like sitting in the audience and I was hit by a fucking like,
I want to try to take that fish home.
and cook it.
Oh yeah, it was sitting on ice.
You imagine just like
That's an $80 striped bass.
I pay for this ticket and one lands in your
You
lap.
literally could have literally taken home your dinner worth what you paid for the ticket.
It's like Homer Simpson in the sandwich, like he's too proud to not like eat the sandwich. I'm gonna eat this fish. Yes, cook it.
This was in the middle of the card, Mike. So like, how
like, this was not the main event.
Okay, maybe I wouldn't have.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I did not even think about that. That ring was covered with slime.
Yes, it was disgusting.
absolutely.
This was Destination X, which
There
means
was
that it was all
also-
X Division matches towards the end.
There was also
Ugh.
fish guts covering the ring at one point. And you know they had to go back to the locker room because there were some spots where Curryman kind of gave Bubba like a headbutt into the fish. And you could see him like wipe the slime off his forehead. So, you know, they just shower pretty good. You know, they were hooking up with ring rats afterwards and still smell like fish.
Ugh.
You smell like me.
Oh, man. So, enough of this. Should we get to the haiku?
Yeah, let's get to the haiku. I was really excited for this haiku this week. In fact, I was even like counting syllables for ho ho, ding dong, striper. Give me your haiku.
What pound test is that?
275 test.
I hear hose make great bait. Is that a porgy?
Oh, one more time. Let's hear this one more time.
What pound test is that?
All right.
I hear ho-hos make great bait.
They do.
Is that a porgy?
Phenomenal. Tolbert, that you have really come into your own with these haikus. I think I'm just giving you some great content for your
You have.
for your artistry.
Applaud you, sir. Some great high spot matches the past few weeks.
Man, we really have. I'm gonna have to like the hardest part is topping. Like I feel like the guy that goes out there that does like a double moonsault. Like how am I gonna top that? Like each week I have given you just gold for the high spot.
Well, you
What
feel
am I
like
gonna do
Ricochet?
next week?
I think to top all the high spots next year after COVID's not a thing, we all go to the Juggalo Gathering.
Mike
As
is
a
already out of
podcast.
it. Mike said no. I'm a firm maybe. I'm definitely considering it.
My goal as a podcast, as a whole, I would say is to have a booth at the Juggalo Gathering. As a podcast, so we can sell T-shirts and crafts.
And people would be like, Cookie,
And
you're one of
whippets.
us. One of us.
Yeah.
One of us.
Yeah. I have to
Family.
undo.
Family. Thank you for listening
Dear
to
God.
the Steak, a pro wrestling and apparently Juggalo podcast.
Whoop, whoop.
We will be at you next week with some new content and talk to you soon on $2 Steak, a pro wrestling podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.